Welcome to our Bust Out of Gold Road to Ruby training. We are so excited to bring this to you. And first of all, I want to start with a huge congratulations. It is a wonderful achievement for you to reach gold rank. That is just huge in our company, and that is why we celebrate it so much. And that is why we want to take this time to invest in you, our valued leaders, and help you have all the tools that you need to reach those next ranks and get all the way to the wonderful position that we are all in as diamonds. And so first, I would love to introduce my beautiful daughter, Amber.
Hey everyone, congratulations for hitting gold. We are so excited for you. And we've just been brainstorming, how can we help them move to the next rank and grow themselves and their business. So we're excited to talk to you guys today.
Yes, and then we have Wendy Larson, who is one of my favorites. I just love her, and I'm so thankful that I have her on my team. She just has so much passion, and so Wendy, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for having me on. I'm so excited for you guys. You guys, gold is amazing. It's a great place to be, and I want to, just embrace where you are and congratulate you. But you guys, it's just one step to where you want to be. And I'm really excited to do this training with Lori and with Amber, because this is just a step. When you have big goals and big dreams, you have to cross many steps to get where you're going. And we believe that we've got some really great tips and training tools that are going to help you get there. A lot of times when you hit gold, you kind of have this feeling like, I've arrived, I've made it. And you have to a point. You've arrived and you've made it to the point of being a leader. And sometimes that's scary and sometimes that is exciting. So we're going to actually go a little bit deeper on what that means to be a leader and how to lift your lid and things like that. So Lori, do you have some training tips that you want to start with to begin?
Yes. First of all, I'm really thankful in my journey that my vision was on diamond. And when I hit gold, I didn't even really know what gold meant. And so I kind of consider that an advantage. And one of the things that I've seen with people, and I know that we all have experienced this with some of our leaders, is that when they hit gold, it's almost a spot where they sort of freeze. Yeah. And that's because, at least I know it's true for me in life, aside from being a mom, which is definitely a leadership role, I had never been really a leader. And so most of us don't understand the definition of leadership. And we can kind of freeze at that spot because we feel like, we got to put our feet underneath us. We got to step into this role of leader. What does it mean? And for some people, I have seen that it can be almost just a stumbling block. And so that's one of the topics that we want to overcome, help you guys overcome. What does it mean to be a leader? And why do a lot of people get to gold and then just freeze? And so I don't know, Amber, do you have something to say about that?
Yeah, I love that topic of leadership, because it took me a long time to really realize what that was. And I think people, like Mom said, kind of freeze because they think, now I have to be a leader. Now I have to be something different, and really leadership is influence. Leadership is what you do and how that influences your team. And there's a difference between leadership because of the title you're given, like I'm a gold, now I'm a leader, or leadership because of who you are in that position and your team wanting you to lead them because of what they see in you. So I think really, like, I try to take it back to my kids. More is caught than taught. So I can be talking at them all the time, telling them exactly what to do, how to have their chores, how to do their chores with a happy attitude. Or I can show them by my influence of me doing my chores with a happy attitude. They're going to really catch on to that more. So that's why you can't, don't get stuck in I'm the leader, now everyone does what I say. People will follow you. They'll follow you because of the influence you have on them. And that's what you really want. You don't want them led around and told exactly step by step. You want to influence them by what you're doing. And somehow your team always knows when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know how it is. Maybe it's like how kids know too. So when you're sitting back behind your computer and you're putting trainings out there and you're copy pasting other stuff, but you aren't working your business like you're supposed to be, like you're telling them to, it's gonna impact your team. You can't fake it. You can't fake passion. You can't fake belief. You have to find that for yourself if you don't have it yet, because it is influence and it comes down to having those things.
Right. And I just love Wendy because even though Wendy is in my downline, I kind of refer to her as like the Pied Piper of Plexus. And that is because she has got so much passion. And I know that we all influence each other. Even my daughter, she influences me. When we're together, and we're together on Facebook, social media, anything like that, we influence each other as people. And Wendy is such a positive influence. I just love her. And so, Wendy, what do you have to say about this topic of management mode and what should a gold ambassador be doing?
Well, it kind of piggybacks a little bit off of what Amber was talking about, is you do need to model the behavior of a leader. Because people will aspire to be more like you if you can model that behavior of a diamond ambassador, emerald ambassador, sapphire ambassador. You have to put in the energy, the work, the posture of what that looks like in order for people to be influenced by you. And so when you feel like you're stuck at gold, look at the posture of yourself. What are you modeling for people to follow? Are your insecurities coming out? Is your verbiage negative? Are your, whatever it is that you're demonstrating or putting out there can be felt, and it will be reflective of your team. So I like people to have them, first of all, look at what they're modeling and make sure they're always modeling behavior of a jewel. Even if you don't know what that means, start looking at that. You don't have to fake who you are. You need to capitalize on your strengths. If you don't know what your strengths are, figure out what your strengths are and capitalize on those. Because so often I feel like when somebody hits a gold level, all of a sudden their weaknesses become incredibly magnified. They all of a sudden realize that they may not be fully equipped for this position to lead. And those weaknesses are so magnified, it can freeze you. Well, guess what, you guys? You can overcome that by capitalizing on your strengths and aligning yourself with people on your team who can take care of those weaknesses for you. And you will be so much stronger. Your team will be so much stronger. You're going to be lifting up the lid of your own team by bonding with people who have your weaknesses and you have their strengths, or you know what I'm talking about. People will work harder for praise and raise. Make sure that there's tons of recognition, and that if you understand what their strengths are, you are making sure you recognize that and putting them in a position with you to be a leader with you, even if they're not even silver. Because I know the one thing that got me to diamond was somebody else's belief in me. It wasn't so much the belief in myself, but I was ready to raise that challenge of somebody else's belief in me and show them I could do it because they believed in me. It meant a lot to me to make them proud of me. And I was going to work hard. I was going to meet every obstacle. I was going to do everything scared. And I did. And I believe that you can too. So that's one tip, is magnify your strengths, not your weaknesses. Align yourself with people that can help make you stronger because of those weaknesses.
Yes. And I love that, Wendy. That is awesome. I've definitely seen you do that, and that is so exciting. And so what Wendy talked about, she talked about why when she was at gold, what propelled her and motivated her, to want to get to that next level and to want to get all the way to diamond. But what I also want to say to you guys is it's 20 people to be gold. And so you might not have your Wendy ready to run with you with those 20 people. Those 20 people might need to be cultivated, and they might need to go through some personal growth. One of the emeralds on my team right now, Cindy Franklin, she was just a happy wholesale customer for 6 months before she decided to work this business. So you don't want to wait until you have somebody that wants to make you proud and wants to run with you. So the biggest thing I want to reiterate to you guys is, okay, I'm a diamond, Amber's a diamond, Wendy's a diamond. I do not depend on my team to get me where I want to go. Right. I understand that I need to be going there in order for them to be going there too. And that is actually so much fun. So what got you to gold is your love for the products, the fact that you believe in this business, and that is what will get you all the way to diamond. And so when Wendy says capitalize on your strengths, in many opportunities, you need to fix those weaknesses. But with Plexus, it's great to understand your weaknesses, but you get to have fun reaching your goals, capitalizing on your team. And so management mode is fear. It is fear-based. Yeah. And if you are afraid and you don't know what to do, that really is going to be reflected in your team, unless you're very fortunate and you have somebody that has the vision more than you do, which can be an amazing, awesome thing. And Amber, I know that was the case for you. And so could you maybe speak a little bit, and then I want Wendy to go into it a little bit in more detail, because she's got so much passion. Not that you don't, but you lived it. So maybe
I'll be the example here. A lot of you guys know when I first joined Plexus, honestly, I just wanted to get to silver, get my $100 bonus, had no idea what I was getting into. And Mom, I basically forced her to sign up, got her credit card, signed her up. At that point, Mom really saw the vision. Eventually, and it took a few weeks, but she saw the vision when she fell in love with the products. And she had 100% belief in the products and in herself. But I, on the other hand, did not. So this is where I was so blessed to sign up a rock star, someone who was going to run with the business, that wasn't going to wait on me, right? Because I wasn't ready. I had that lid that they're talking about. My lid, what was pushing me down, was so much doubt, so much fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of I can't do it, fear of everything. I didn't want to step out of my comfort zone. I didn't want to try because it was uncomfortable. And so I didn't. And what I did was I sat back and complained. I complained that my customers just never got results. I complained that the people I signed up never wanted to work the business. Maybe Mom did, but nobody else did. Just complained and complained and complained until, and so Mom went above. Mom hit emerald, Mom hit diamond, and Mom hit emerald, and I was still stuck. And so finally I had that breakthrough moment where I was either going to overcome all of this stuff that was going on in my mind, my mindset. I was going to overcome that, and I was going to try and put myself out there and be okay if it wasn't perfect, right? Because we're never going to be perfect. We just have to try, and raise that lid that I had on myself. And so what that did is that not only brought me to a higher level, but my other people that I was signing up and that I started to sign up, because they weren't like Mom, because they weren't 100% belief and passionate and going to hit emerald in 9 months, I was able to take them and cultivate them and help them raise up with me. Where if I had, I'm glad I didn't have a lot of people on my team then outside of Mom, because I wouldn't have been able to lead them. I wasn't able to lead them. And here's the thing too, guys, is that does not mean that I don't still have fear and that Wendy and Mom don't still have fear. We just know what to do with it now. We just know how to feel the fear and be like, all right, this is growing. I'm going to do it. I'm putting it out there because I've done it so many times before. Nothing bad ever happens. And so we just know what to do with that sense of flutters. You guys, I threw up 6 times before my first event. I know what flutters now, okay? And know it's going to be okay. So I encourage you, if you're feeling that fear, if you don't want to put yourself out there, maybe you're worried that nobody's going to listen. Maybe you're worried that your team is not going to listen, and then you're going to feel like I'm a failure as a leader. Don't feel that. Don't worry about that. Raise your lid. Be able to raise them up. Let that go and do it anyways. And then the other thing, I'm talking too much here, but sometimes you hit gold and you have a team of 20 and you're like, I've got a team. I'm going to lead them. They're going to get me to senior gold. You guys, maybe you only have 2 or 3 people who are actually going to work the business. And that's pretty good numbers, that are going to work the business. That's why you can't sit back on your haunches and rely on your team and be like, why are they not doing anything? Why are they not doing anything? Maybe you didn't find your rock star yet. You probably didn't. You probably haven't met your jewels yet. Or maybe you have, but you got to go meet more, So that's why you can't sit back. You got to keep working your own business, trying to go silver every month. And your team will do the same, and you'll bring on more and more people that are excited about the business.
Exactly. I love that. Wendy, what can you add to that?
Okay. Are you ready? Because here we go. I just love, I think Amber's story really truly happened for a reason. And it was because of that example of what it takes to lift your own lid and not be stuck in circumstances and not be stuck in fear that you still couldn't reach your dreams. And her story happened. It had to happen that way in order for it to inspire all of the rest of us. And so when I talk about lifting your lid, and where I get really passionate with this is that when Amber was stuck, she was only so far. Okay, so when we talk about lifting your lid, if you look at your leadership qualities on a scale from 1 to 10, if you were to rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, where you think you are as a leader, let's say you considered yourself a 7. That means most of the people that you're going to bring in underneath you are going to be no higher than a 6. Because you're the leader, they're going to be underneath you. And those 6s are going to bring in people no higher than 5s. And the 5s, and as you grow, your team may get bigger, but it also may get weaker. And this is why personal growth and development is so important to a leader, because that leader needs to go from a 7 to an 8. And they need to lift up their people underneath them and bring their 6s up to 7s. And they need to keep doing this over and over and over again and cultivate these people. Like Amber was talking about, she had to cultivate the people that she brought in to be better than what they are. When Amber figured that out, that she needed to grow herself in order to grow her team, that's what got her to Diamond. It was personal growth and development. And she didn't stop until she reached there. And she's there, and she's still not stopping because she's still cultivating, teaching, and reaching. You guys, you are either going to be the best of the worst or the worst of the best. Okay? When Amber started and her mom passed her up, she was the worst of the best. Her mom caught the vision and went beyond her. And she ended up catching up with her growth and personal development and became the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And that is where we want you to. You don't have to be stuck. This is a personal choice. You can outgrow your lid. You can lift up that umbrella, and you can bring up the people on your team with you. So I want you to be encouraged with that big time, because you have the power. This is not stuck management mode. This is like, I'm going to grow of myself, and we're going to all do this together. Great way to do this is to start doing book studies with your team. They think that they're doing something fun with you, and you're cultivating and nurturing relationships. What they don't realize is that you're growing them. How awesome is that? You will be growing them as you guys build a business together. So that's my tip on lifting your lid. It's so important. It's my favorite topic. I could go into 9 other different ways if I had all my notes out, but it would take up forever. So different video for that, perhaps.
Yeah, we're going to expand on all these topics of the weeks that come. And I just want to speak a little bit about my personal experience. So when I became a leader, even that title terrified me, because I'm not the type of person that I associated what I thought leadership meant. And I soon learned that leadership is loving people, caring about their success more than you care about your own.
Yep.
And that is something that, that mama bear term, or if you look back in history, in the military, all the great leaders stepped out in fear, self-sacrificially, because they cared about the people that they were leading.
Yep.
And so you don't ever want to get in that management mode where you're looking at your team as numbers that is going to get you where you want to be. You want to look at your team as, how can I help them to get where they want to be? And if that means that you have to raise your lid and step out in confidence, then use that motivation that you want to help these people that have these goals to do it, because that is what I did oftentimes. Uncomfortable situations, I was like, by golly, I'm going to do it because this person needs me to. And so, you can use that as a motivation. Another thing I want to say just really quickly is recognize leaders on your team, in that it is okay if somebody steps into this role. Kristen Abart is definitely, a very strong leader. And I recognize that immediately and told her, you and I are going to do this together, and I'm not going to be jealous or intimidated or anything other than applaud any achievement she reaches that's, above an achievement that I reach. And so don't let that catty jealousy type thing. I am the leader. She is my downline. He is my downline. Why is he doing an live event before I have? Don't let that influence you, because you want that. You want the people that you've sponsored to be better than who you are. And then also, dedication. So you heard some roosters crowing in the background,
yes.
Right? And Wendy, bless her soul, she is going on a family vacation. They're leaving for 3 days. I asked her last night because I know her passion. I wanted her on this first opening Zoom. And it's 6 a.m. for me, 8 a.m. for these ladies, right before she's leaving on a trip. And we are here doing this, and we're doing this for you because we are dedicated to your success. And so just think about that. Think about your daily activity, your dedication, raising the lid. Your daily activity will be reflected in your team. And so that is just going to be the wrap up for tonight. So thank you guys so much, and have a fabulous vacation, Wendy.
Thank you
for doing this. Thank you, Amber.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.